Hey Nay babes, and thank you so much for clicking on today's video. I'm super excited and grateful to have you here. In today's video, I'm going to be showing those who want to learn or see the technique that I use to get clean and neat stitch braids. Before we get into the video, please make sure you guys like the video, comment down below, and please click the subscribe button so that you guys can join the Nay Babe family. The tools we will be using is our clips, our stitch enhancers, as well as a precision parting comb, a gel band, and a braiding gel of your choice. When doing a stitch or freedom braid, what do y'all call them? Let me know in the comments. But when doing a stitch braid, the first thing we want to start with is parting. Then we want to get into the foundation. So using your precision parting comb, you want to take the comb to go ahead and start parting out the desired section that you're going to start braiding. My gel recommendations for stitch braids will be in the description below. Using the gel of your choice, you want to make sure you apply the gel to the root of the hair all the way to like midway of the hair. You don't want to put it all the way to the ends, but you want to make sure you're using the gel to clean up your part. Go over it as many times as you need, but you don't want to take too much time during this part. Stitch braids shouldn't take you over 3 hours, but parting is the most time consuming part of stitch braids. After you're done parting and you got the clean part that you feel is clean enough for you, it looks good. Now you want to start molding the braid, applying the gel to the braid as you guys can see how I am doing it. Then we want to just make sure the braid is gelled all the way through. Okay, we want to mold this braid, get this braid as flat as possible, as clean as possible as we're combing the gel through, making sure the product gets all the way through the hair so that it has a firm hold and these braids will have a good retention on them, you know. Also, you want to make sure you use your clips to keep all the excess hair out of the way so it doesn't mess up your clean part. The biggest tip that I can give anyone doing stitch braids that I had to learn the hard way is to simply just take your time. Especially if you're doing like 6 to 8 braids, that should take you about 2 hours. Don't rush it. Just take your time. Make sure you're getting a clean part. You're molding the braid how it needs to. You're getting all the product through the hair. That way your braids will look clean and neat the way you want them to. Alright, now we have our braid all gelled down, combed all through. We're going to take the beginning section that we're going to braid. So when you're doing a stitch braid, you should have 3 sections. You want to have the beginning section, then you take that remaining of the hair and you split that down into 2 and apply gel in between that as well. I'm telling you, especially if you're doing on thick hair, you want to apply as much gel as you can. Not too much, but just enough to where the hair is slick and molded all the way through. And then we're going to begin braiding. With the braiding, I like to braid down at least 1 to 2 times, and then I begin my stitch. In this video, I'll be showing you guys 2 ways that I do stitch braids. It really just depends on the client's hair density. I sometimes stitch from just one way. I am left-handed, so I stitch from my left first always. So I stitch all the way through, hooking that entire section as you guys can see. And stitching is really like a hook. You want to grab that hair and hook it. Act like you're grabbing the air, like, girl, what? Like, it's like a grab and then a hook. Like, it's literally like a, like, what she say? And yeah, hook it. Like, that's the best way. That's how I learned. Somebody taught me like that. Like, girl, what? Like, you grabbing something and you want to hook it. You want to hook all the way through, so you're only stitching through one side. You're not stitching through both sides. The last part of the video will show you guys how I do my left and my right. Like I said, it just depends on how thick the client's hair, if I need to stitch from both left and right, or if I can just stitch from one side. Personally, it's easier to stitch from just my left side because I'm grabbing that whole section of hair, braiding that down 1 or 2 times, and then stitching again from my left side. But if you're a right-handed braider, you would do this from your right side, and if you're left-handed, I'm showing you guys from the left side. Another thing, when you're stitching, you guys see how I'm taking it all the way through, pulling that hair towards my thumb, grabbing it. You want to make sure you have a tight enough grip and pulling that hair up so that way it goes up into the braid, defining the stitch more. The stitch doesn't really show as well on the mannequin, but trust me, these are the techniques and motions that I have practiced repetitively so that my stitch braids look like this. Okay, once you have gotten the motions down, like you know the motions of your stitch braids and how to do it, trust me, it's going to be so much more easier doing it on like an actual client's hair, because you have this hand motions, these techniques already practiced. You know, it's like embedded in you, you know. Now this braid, I am showing you guys how I am doing it from my left and my right. So when you're doing it from your left and your right, you want to make sure that the hair never crosses over. Like, it should never cross over your thumb. It should never go past your thumb or your index finger. You want to make sure you're just keeping the hair on its side that it came from. It should never cross over. You should never take the hair from the left side to the right side from the left side, you know, so keep the hair on the side that it is. Another good way to help and make sure that you're not getting the hair on the other side is to keep the section that you part down the middle separate. So don't mold that back together. Just keep the hair separate from each other. I'm so sorry if the visual was not good enough. I can definitely do another video re-showing how I'm doing this, but I hope me explaining this is helping you guys with a little bit of visual to see. But if you guys need me to remake this video, please let me know. I hope you guys found it helpful. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe to the channel, and I will catch y'all in the next one.